When the sun goes down, you see, 3 or 4 heroin and crack dealers show up in front, and then the entire neighborhood comes to buy their drugs in the open air with police driving by all day. Down here, we've seen sex acts constantly, where they're either drug crazed and they're doing sex acts, or people are doing sex acts for money, or whatever the heck it is. Walking from the business to the parking lot might have to, shelter my children's eyes from this sort of thing.
That first-hand account from the co-owner of the football factory here at Bathurst and Richmond. How his neighbor to the north is the Queen West Health Community Center. They've been marked as a soon-to-be safe injection site. Their center's focus is on harm reduction for drug users, creating a safe space for people to use, with staff on standby to offer life-saving assistance should someone overdose on drugs, be it fentanyl, heroin, or any other long list of drugs. Though area businesses here say since that center was named as a potential safe injection site in the near future, they've seen a spike in drug dealers and users.
So there's been a turnover with the local drug dealers. The local drug dealer had been here for a decade, or that group, I guess you'd say. He was murdered on the corner, and there's a new, much more savvy group that is in, much more organized group that has come down. And it's almost like, if your client, you go where the business is, and if it's like they came into the neighborhood to take over the neighborhood, waiting for, the influx of people coming to use the safe injection site.
Area businesses also claim these new dealers have began cooking drugs and bringing in girls into the boarded-up homes across the street, slated for a new development, using them as a body house. Photos provided to CityNews allegedly show people openly smoking crack and the influx of dealers and users when the sun goes down outside and around the center. The owner of the neighborhood toy store, too frightened to speak on camera with us today, says he's been held up at knife point. Now, the co-owner of the football factory says he's been assaulted since the center was named as a safe injection site. They're calling on security to be put in place around the clock at the 3 Toronto locations.
This one gentleman, came in, and we were very concerned. He threatened to cut the heads off of the people sitting on the patio, and then when I told him that was not a good idea, then he threatened to cut my head off, and then he punched me in the face, split my lip open, cut my face. When you're focusing so many at-risk people in a neighborhood, you're destined to have issues, and hopefully, you have a security plan for that.
Research has shown is that when safe injection sites go in, local crime and public drug use goes down.
And what they say they heard at the public consultations is those numbers are somewhat skewed, and the city is cherry-picking some of those numbers from some of the reports that were put together.
No, the research is actually comprehensive, and the city report spoke to international research.
So circling back to the security question, as of right now, that's a no.
No, as of right now, police are increasing and planning to increase their response and protocols to ensure that we have 24-hour plans in place for the security of these facilities. Though as it stands tonight, the city doesn't have any plans to hire private security for this center or the other 2 safe injection locations across the city. Now, area businesses here say when they've been speaking with police officers, cops have said they feel stretched to the limit, and when they're called to incidents at this corner and at others across the city, they feel like it's simply just a catch and release program. Now, according to Toronto Police Communications, they do have a plan in place that they're working on for this center, though what it's going to look like remains to be seen.